Welcome back everyone to the 2026 PIFA World Cup. We're in spectacular Nimbasa City today, where football meets festival in one of the most colourful venues anywhere in the tournament. The sun's shining, the crowd has been building for hours, and today we witness one of the oldest rivalries in Pokémon football. It's Johto taking on Hoenn. After the dramatic victory that Johto had against Alola, they've set themselves up perfectly to potentially finish top of their pool. They were the underdogs in that game, they're the underdogs in this game, but don't count them out. We look at the Pool B standings heading into this match, and of course Johto, who won that first match, is on top on 3 points. They would be hoping for at least a draw here, which would guarantee them progression through to the next round, but a win here would guarantee them finishing top of the pool, which means straight through to the semi-finals. And also, we've been hearing lately that might be automatic qualifying for the 2028 Pokelympics. And more importantly today, Hoenn enters the tournament for the first time. They have fresh legs, they're not injured, and they've had a chance to study their opponents. And they are led by the great Steven Stone. He's regarded one of the game's greatest thinkers. He's a coach who rarely panics. He won't raise his voice much, and he really trusts intelligence, discipline, and elite decision making. Hoenn won't rush this game. They'll definitely make Johto earn everything. And then there's of course Morty, football's great enigma. Never seems hurried, never emotional. His players talk about instinct, flow, almost playing off feeling rather than instruction, yet somehow every player knows exactly where they're meant to be. So we have two fascinating football minds going head to head here. Steven Stone, the master engineer, against Morty, the master illusionist. And this is how Johto lines up under Morty. They've got a formation of 4-2-3-1. Of course, the star of their first game, Lugia, their captain in goals again. The defensive line, we've got Heracross, Mega Ampharos, Typhlosion backing them, and Granbull actually coming in. We've got Umbreon, Smeargle, you've got Aipom, who's an attacking centre mid, and you've got Scizor and Flaffy out wide. Ampharos is up front as a striker again. Pretty strong team. Gives me the vibe that Morty's going to come in with the same tactics that he took in the first game, and he's going to rely a lot on Smeargle and Aipom to be the creators. Now we switch to Hoenn, and we have a look at Steven Stone's brought in. Swampert's in goals. I think that's a great call. He's got great coverage, he's explosive, and he's pretty talented with his feet. In defense, you've got Sceptile, the captain, Mega Sceptile, Zangoose, and Blaziken make up that back row. It's a formation of 4-3-3, and your three midfielders are Kecleon, Trico, and Nuzleaf, with the front three being Mega Blaziken, Mega Swampert, which is a very surprising decision. It would seem that Steven wants someone to dominate physically up front, and then you've also got Grovyle up there. Should be a very entertaining match. I also look forward to seeing when Medicham and Combusken come on, arguably two of their best players. A little surprised to see them starting on the bench, but I'm sure Steven Stone has a plan. Some of the key battles out there will be Smeargle versus Kecleon, the artist against the organizer, both very much playmakers and will be key to many attacking raids in this one. Then also Mega Ampharos at the back versus Mega Swampert. Strength meets strength in the penalty area, and it'll be interesting to see who gets the better of that battle. Johto will want rhythm, Hoenn will want territory. Whoever controls the midfield probably controls the match. The bookies have Johto as the outsiders, which is definitely expected, and that tells the story, but their confidence has been earned, and they have definitely earned some respect after beating Alola in a massive upset. It's a beautiful day, as we said, in Nimbasa. Sunny, 26 degrees, slight wind, a little bit of humidity, but the pitch is excellent. It's a huge crowd, and kickoff is at 3 p.m. The stage is set, the rivalry renewed, Johto seeking to prove their opening win was no fluke, and Hoenn determined to announce themselves to the tournament. And the whistle sounds. Away we go. Hoenn immediately dominate possession. Trico finds Nuzleaf between the lines. Quick pass. Mega Blaziken bursts into space. Cross. Lugia calmly claims above Mega Swampert. Excellent goalkeeping. Steven Stone has made his intentions very clear here. Stretch Johto early. Move that back four around. Smeargle drops almost alongside Umbreon to collect possession. 3 delicate passes later, they find Scizor, who's away. He cuts inside. He shoots! Saved by Swampert. Excellent save. That all started with Smeargle again. He sees passes most players don't even know exist. Grovyle skips past Typhlosion. Low ball across goal. Mega Swampert arrives. Mega Ampharos throws himself in the way. Huge defensive block. Umbreon to Smeargle to Granbull. Back to Lugia. That was a string of 25 uninterrupted passes, and the Hoenn crowd grows a bit restless. This is exactly where Morty wants the match. Nobody's running except the football. Aipom dances between Trico and Kecleon. Little reverse pass, Ampharos spins, left foot strike! Off the post! The rebound falls kindly to Swampert too. That was so close, that's the biggest chance of the afternoon so far. Nuzleaf intercepts, slides Grovyle through, one-on-one! Lugia saves! A huge right hand pushes it around the post. That's the captain doing captain things. A corner here for Hoenn. And it's Grovyle who lines it up. Swings it in, deep towards the back. Mega Swampert rises highest, heads it back across goals. Sceptile! The captain volleys through traffic. It's in! A deflection and it wrong foots Lugia. Unbelievable! Hoenn go up 1-0 in their opening match of the tournament. The captain strikes first. He's not the biggest on the field, but he's one of the smartest, and he was in the right position, and he got the ball from arguably the biggest man on the field. Smeargle receives the ball under pressure. Without looking, pushes a glorious outside off the foot pass through defenders. Scizor races clear, squares it first time. Ampharos! Powerful left foot finish. No chance for Swampert. That's a goal. Johto draw level right on the stroke of half time. Vintage Morty football. Patience, precision, perfection. And the whistle sounds almost immediately after the restart. Here we are at half time, and we've got a beauty on our hands. Steven's stone structure has caused Johto plenty of problems, but once again, Smeargle is quietly pulling the strings all over the pitch. And if the first half is anything to go by, neither manager will be settling for a point here. Johto restart here. Immediately Smeargle drops a bit deeper again, almost inviting Hoenn to press. But instead he clips an outrageous first time ball over the top. Scizor volleys across goal. Swampert gets fingertips to it. Huge save! Huge save! Smeargle is seeing this game 3 passes ahead of anyone, but Swampert has saved the day there for Hoenn. Trico, on to Nuzleaf, back heel, Mega Blaziken, square ball, Mega Swampert shoots, Lugia! An astonishing reaction save with his enormous right hand. That might just go down the save of the tournament. And Hoenn have made their first substitution. We got Kecleon coming off and Medicham going on. Johto follows suit with Flaffy going off, and the very, very fast Suicune coming on. Fresh legs, it'll be more direct, doesn't have the same passing game as Flaffy, but with that speed, with the tired bodies on the other side, will it make a difference? Suicune glides past Blaziken, he cuts inside, slides the ball centrally, Smeargle lets it run between his legs, Aipom bursts beyond him, one touch, cross the goal, sizzle, thump, roof of the net! Johto, they lead, 2-1, what a comeback! This is exactly what happened in Game 1. They came from the clouds, they dominated possession, and they took over in the second half. Morty's subs have worked instantly. Suicune stretched the defense. Incredible that Morty brought him on instead of Raikou. Raikou came on last game with the same impact. Morty just has his game plan down pat. Hoenn respond with a double sub. Nuzleaf and Grovyle go off, with Combusken and Absol coming on. More pace, more runners, and everything you feel will be going forward now. Combusken, he dances between Umbreon and Granbull. Low shot! Lugia saves. The rebound falls to Absol, blocked heroically by Mega Ampharos. Johto are defending with absolutely everything they've got. Things are slowing down again here as Umbreon to Granbull. Smeargle, back to Lugia, back to Smeargle again. They're winding down the clock here. Johto use a substitution and Aipom will come off for Ledian. Some extra defensive stability, a clear signal that they're looking to protect this lead. Hoenn have thrown bodies forward and Sceptile is now virtually playing as a winger. Cross after cross rains into the box. Mega Ampharos clears one. Granbull throws himself at another. Umbreon blocks a shot and Johto refuse to break. One final opportunity here, you would think. Medicham, he swings in a wicked free kick. Mega Swampert, he climbs highest again. Powerful header, hits the crossbar. Lugia was beaten and the entire stadium gasps. Saved by the woodwork. Here we go in the final moments of injury time. Trico, he chips it forward. Absol brings it down beautifully. Shoots! Lugia saves again. Falls on the loose ball. Well, Absol is fast, but he doesn't have that shooting pedigree. Lugia looks upfield. The ref checks his watch. And that's full time. Johto with another incredible effort to pull off an underdog win against Hoenn. 2-1. What a statement. Many wondered whether the victory over Alola was simply a perfect tactical matchup. Not anymore. They've now beaten one of the tournament favourites as well. Once again, Morty's patience triumphs. Johto absorbed pressure, trusted the process, and they found their moments. We take a look at the match stats. It was a pretty even contest out there. I think Johto had the better of it today, which really surprises me. They held possession really well. Their passing was fantastic, the way they held onto the ball at the back and really made Hoenn press. They had more shots on target, and they also had more corners. And they don't quite have the pedigree to take those corners as well as Hoenn does. You saw Mega Swampert up front for Hoenn was a threat every time the ball went aerial, but a huge win for Johto. And now we have a look at some of the individual stat leaders from the game. We know Ampharos, Scizor both assisted a goal. We know Mega Swampert with the header back to Sceptile, great assist. We look at some of these stats and you see players like Sceptile, Scizor, Smeargle who really dominated. You see a lot of passes from Lugia throughout this game too. That just shows how much Johto played back. Plenty of block shots. Mega Ampharos was fantastic at the back. And look at that max speed from Suicune. He came on, used that speed and really made a difference in the game. We move on to our player ratings. We have a look at Johto, who had a lot of stars, none more so than the captain and man of the match, Lugia. His saves in goal were instrumental, and he could very well take this team all the way. Mega Ampharos at the back was inspirational too, and Granbull getting a game this time was ferocious and tackled everything that came his way. Umbreon held the back up well, and Smeargle was creative and brilliant, with his partner in crime, Ampharos, who was spectacular. Scizor again on the right, very dangerous all game, and Ampharos up front held his own brilliantly. And as we said, Suicune was a bit of a game changer out there. You have a look at Hoenn, and Mega Swampert really surprised us with how good he was up front. Every time the ball came aerial, he was there, and he was always fighting off defenders. The wingers were good, the central midfield was strong. I thought they lacked a little bit at the back with Blaziken and Zangoose. They probably could have been a bit better, but the captain was spectacular as well with an 8.9 rating. Swampert and goals was great. Maybe the subs just didn't get enough time. I would have liked to see Medicham and Combusken on there for longer. It'll be interesting to see what they do next game against Alola.
Lugia, congratulations. Player of the match, 8 saves, and Johto are now 2 wins from 2. How proud are you of that performance?
It's never about one player. Tonight it was my turn to make a few saves. Against Alola it was Smeargle controlling the match. Against Hoenn it was Scizor finding the winning goal. We trust whoever the game asks to stand up.
Late in the game you somehow denied Mega Swampert and then Absol in stoppage time. Did either of those saves surprise even you?
I'd be worried if they surprised me. As a goalkeeper you don't have time to think. You react, then you trust the work you put in.
Finally, a message to the Johto supporters who have travelled all the way to Unova.
You've carried us through both matches. We hear every song, we see every flag. We promise you one thing, we're not finished yet.
And so here we have the Pool B standings after the second match in the pool. Johto go through the pool stage undefeated. 2 wins, 2 upset wins, and a goal difference of +2 as well. They booked 6 points and booked their spot in the semi-finals. Who will they be taking on? I'm not sure, but it's a good goal differential and they've got maximum points, which gives me the impression they are very likely to be taking on the team that comes through from the second place playoffs, which says maybe they're favourites to go in the final now. We know Pool A, no team is going to get the maximum 6 points, so they've at least finished in second. Hoenn will be looking for a win against Alola. Alola the same against Hoenn. That'll be a very exciting match, and we can't wait to see how that one goes. An absolutely remarkable performance from Johto. Coming into the tournament, they were viewed as outsiders. 5 days later, they've defeated Alola and Hoenn. They sit alone atop Pool B and have 1 foot in the final almost. And they're arguably becoming one of the hardest teams to play against. Morty's system is incredibly disciplined. Smeargle continues to control matches. Scizor keeps delivering in big moments, and today, when everything was on the line, their captain Lugia simply refused to let Hoenn score. For Hoenn, a disappointing beginning, but certainly not the end of their World Cup. They created chances and they controlled long periods of possession. On another afternoon, they may well have taken something from this contest. They just couldn't seem to find as many shots as what Johto did. But football tournaments, they're ruthless. Johto took their chances, and sometimes that's the only statistic that matters. After 5 enthralling matches so far, the competition continues to deliver. Johto march on, Hoenn regroup. Next up, another chapter awaits in Unova.